Headlines like this are designed to trigger emotion before understanding, and in the case of Kate Middleton, they often create a story that feels far more dramatic than the reality, because what is being described as a tragedy beyond heartbreaking is not supported by any confirmed public information, but instead comes from the tendency of online media to frame normal life transitions, privacy periods, and royal responsibilities in exaggerated emotional language that suggests crisis where there is actually routine structure and carefully managed public life. And to understand why these narratives spread so easily, it helps to look at the unique position she occupies as the Princess of Wales, where every aspect of her life exists under intense global observation, meaning even ordinary changes in schedule or appearance can be misinterpreted as signs of something serious, when in reality they are often just part of the normal demands of royal duty, family life, and personal health management that exist behind the scenes but are rarely fully explained to the public. One of the main reasons these heartbreaking narratives gain traction is because of how public perception works in modern media, where limited information gets filled with speculation, and silence or privacy is often misread as distress, especially for someone as visible as Kate Middleton, who has spent years balancing her role as a senior royal with her responsibilities as a mother and public representative. And that balance itself is demanding even without added speculation, because royal duties require consistency, emotional control, and constant public engagement, while family life requires privacy and stability, and managing both at the same time naturally leads to periods where she is less visible, which can then be misinterpreted by outside observers as something concerning, even when no official statements indicate any crisis or tragedy. In reality, her life reflects the structured nature of the monarchy, where roles are defined by long-term commitments, scheduled engagements, and carefully planned public appearances, meaning that breaks in visibility are not unusual but expected, especially during times focused on family responsibilities or personal health routines, and because these private aspects are not always shared publicly, gaps in information often become filled with assumptions, which then evolve into dramatic headlines that do not accurately reflect what is happening. It is also important to recognize that being in such a position means living with a level of scrutiny that few people ever experience, where even small changes in appearance, tone, or frequency of appearances can become global discussion points, and that constant attention creates an environment where normal human experiences are often reframed as extraordinary events, even when they are not. And this is where the disconnect between reality and headlines becomes most visible, because what might be a routine pause or personal adjustment in any other life becomes framed as something emotionally severe when applied to a royal figure. Over the years, Kate Middleton has built a public role centered on charity work, mental health advocacy, early childhood development initiatives, and representation of the monarchy both in the United Kingdom and internationally, and these responsibilities require both consistency and adaptability, meaning her schedule is naturally dynamic rather than fixed, and like many people in demanding public roles, she must also manage personal time away from public attention, which is essential for maintaining balance, but this necessary privacy is often misunderstood when viewed from the outside. The emotional framing of tragedy also reflects a broader pattern in celebrity and royal coverage, where audiences are drawn to narratives of suffering or decline because they feel more dramatic than stable or normal life events, even when there is no evidence supporting such framing, and this can lead to repeated cycles of speculation that are not grounded in verified information but instead built on interpretation, assumption, and selective attention to moments of absence or reduced visibility. In truth, the available public information about Kate Middleton shows a life defined by duty, family responsibilities, and structured public service rather than any confirmed ongoing tragedy, and while she, like anyone, may face personal challenges that are not publicly disclosed, which is normal for any individual living under intense scrutiny, there is no verified basis for the claim that something beyond heartbreaking is currently happening to her, and separating emotional storytelling from factual reality is important when evaluating such headlines. Ultimately, what appears to be a tragic narrative is more accurately understood as the combination of public curiosity, media exaggeration, and the natural privacy of a highly visible figure whose life is partially but not fully accessible to the public, and in that gap between visibility and privacy, speculation often grows, even when the reality is far more ordinary and grounded, reflecting the ongoing responsibilities of royal life rather than any confirmed personal crisis or hidden suffering.